We're the visionaries, man. What it do with y'all? Welcome back to another video out in there, bit. You know what I'm saying? Now, I want to talk to y'all about something today, and today's video I want to talk to y'all about. Title of this video is going to be called "Gotta Make Sure I Look Spliffy." But title of this video is going to be called "Being in a Relationship Will Not Solve Your Problems." Now, let me explain. You see, to all my people that's like single and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? Or, you might be an individual that's saying, I want to have, with some shit, I want to have my fantasy come to life. You know what I'm saying? You want your ideal partner to come to life out in this bitch, right? To all of y'all, you want those things to happen simply because, I'm not going to say it's the only reason, but this is one of the main reasons. One of the main reasons as to why you want to have a romantic partner. It's not even just with romance. It could also be with even like a sexual partner, right? One of the reasons as to why you're looking for both of those things, man, is simply because you're thinking that when you are in a relationship, or you're thinking that when you finally get the deed, you know what I'm saying, you're going to think that that's going to solve all your problems and shit like that, when in reality, no, the fuck it ain't. I'm telling you what it is. So, let me use some examples right quick, right? Like what I just said. Here you go. You might be saying, like I said, you might be an individual that's single as fuck right now. Real talk, man. You probably been an individual that was single your whole life, or you probably on a dry spell right now. I don't know where the fuck it is that you at, right? But what's happening is, you're probably craving for a relationship at the current moment, right? So you're craving for a relationship, right? You're just saying, oh, I'm tired of being lonely. You know what I'm saying? Or what's some other shit that you saying? The single life sucks. Real talk, man. Excuse me. What the fuck? But real talk. So you probably going through that shit right now, right? You probably going through that shit right now. But little do you know, if the single life sucks for you right now, some shit, or if your life sucks right now, right? Then what the fuck what makes you think that it's going to be any different when you're in a relationship? What makes you think it's going to be any different? Because as I recall in some shit, when people are in a relationship, right, now you got another motherfucker to worry about. So now you worrying about yourself, and on top of that, you got to worry about another individual and what it is that they do. Look, man, I remember one of my uncles was telling me this like couple months ago or some shit like that. And, ever since then, man, it made me start to realize what it is I'm talking about. Like, I've been knew about it, but it made me become fully aware. There was this couple it is that my uncle knew one time, right? Because he used to be like a teacher and shit. And basically it was like this couple back there's like a high school couple and shit like that, right? So after they graduated and shit like that, it was like, I think it was like a couple years back, some shit, they was like, I think they just became like 20 or 21 years old, like I said, they was high school couples, they was in a relationship, all of a sudden it took a dark turn out in this bitch. I think he was saying that that the female, she was exposing the man online. I forgot what the fuck the man did or some shit like that, right? But she was bashing him online, and basically the dude didn't like that. You know what I'm saying? So the dude asked the female, can he come over to her crib? And after all the shit it is that she said online, I don't know why the fuck she did that for, but she invited the motherfucker to the crib, and let's just say she ain't here no more. I'm telling you what it is. And he locked up. I'm telling you what it is. That's one example of a relationship. Now let me go to a lesser extreme let me go to something lesser extreme. So, now I remember this relationship one time, right? Here we go. It's this beautiful woman, right? This beautiful woman, she in a relationship with a dude, right? And she still fighting insecurities out in this bitch. She still fighting insecurities in herself when she has a whole man or some shit. But you right here watching this video, you're going to be one of the individuals that's going to think that when you finally get in a relationship, right? When you finally get in a relationship, when you finally get the sexual fantasy it is that you always wanted, right? You're going to think that all your problems are going to be you're going to think that all your problems going to fade away. Like you're thinking to yourself, oh, if I get the, to all the men out here, right? If I get this pretty girl, right? If I get this pretty girl, if I bang her or if I start to date her, right? That means I start to be more confident within myself. Little do you know, you still going to be an insecure ass individual, because now what's going to happen is, here you go. So let's say, so let me use another example. Let's say you start dating, to all the men out here, right? Let's say you start dating like a 10 out of 10 female, right? Here you go. You finally got the most beautiful woman in the world. You know what I'm saying? You probably like a 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10 and shit like that, right? And she just a flat out 10 out of 10. Now in your mind, when you first dating her or some shit, you might feel like a little bit of validation. You might. But as time keep on progressing and shit like that, then what's going to happen is you're going to start to feel insecure out in this bitch. And you want to know as to why you feel insecure? You're going to feel insecure simply because, even though you're dating a 10 out of 10, now it's going to be something in your mind that's going to make you think like, damn, she got to be banging somebody else. Or it's going to be saying, I know other dudes trying to, let's say she had to go to a store or some shit like that, right? Now in your mind, you're gonna keep on replaying scenarios in your head of like other dudes trying to get what the girl it is that you got. Point I'm trying to get across, man, you'll never be satisfied. Your problems ain't gonna go away out in this bitch. Your insecurities ain't gonna go away. And shout to Dan Bilzerian, because I will admit, Dan Bilzerian got it all in this bitch. Real talk. Dan Bilzerian got all the most prettiest women in the world. Like, when it comes to pleasure out in this bitch, he could have multiple girlfriends and shit like that as well. So, but real talk, when it comes to that, right? He even stated in the interview one time, he went, look, man, he living 99% of every guy's dream life out in this bitch. He got all the girls in the world. And yet, he even said it himself, that shit does not bring you happiness out in this bitch. It don't bring you happiness, because I'm telling you what it is. I'm telling you, this is what people thinking out in this bitch. I'm telling you, if you was an individual that been single your whole life, you're going to be thinking in your mind, oh, when I finally get the partner it is that I always wanted, I'm going to just feel like a sense of relief. I'm just going to feel a sense of, I could finally pull who it is that I want to pull. Little do you know, because what you're going through right now, you're thinking to yourself that, if you're going through a dry spell right now, you're going to be in a scarcity state of mind. So that's what the fuck it is that you're going through. You're in a dry spell out in this bitch. So you're thinking that you're going to think to yourself that you ain't, if you're a man, you're going to think to yourself that you can't pull no hoes. You're going to be thinking to yourself that you can't get, you can't get the partner it is that you want. But even if you did get the partner it is that you want, even if you did start to pull all the hoes it is that you want, at the end of the day, you'll still be depressed with your damn life. And that's all it is I'm trying to get across in this motherfucking video. That's all it is I'm trying to get across. It's multiple individuals that always speak about this shit. Motherfuckers dating the prettiest of the prettiest females out in this bitch, and these motherfuckers still depressed. Because as I recall, I'm speaking from motherfucker. I'm literally talking to myself or some shit. Motherfucker, I remember back in the day, right? I used to think like, oh, if I get the girl it is that I always wanted, if I get the girl it is that I always wanted, some shit like that, right? Then I'ma feel like I can get any other pretty woman. Man, motherfucker, please, it's multiple hoes, right? Multiple pretty women and shit like that I was fucking with, right? And then it's like when you approach a female, right? Here you go. I always talk about this shit. Here you go. You approach the baddest of the baddest and shit like that, right? So what's going to happen is, kudos to you for being brave enough to even do that shit, right? But what's going to happen is the next motherfucking day, you're going to start to be afraid again. I'm telling you what it is. Or should I say the next couple of days, if you ain't being consistent with that shit, you're going to go back to your old ways. Point I'm trying to get across, man. Point of this I'm trying to get across is, all of this I'm saying, relationships don't bring you happiness, my G. It don't bring you happiness. And I know for a fact There's individuals, right? There's individuals, y'all always be thinking that y'all being in a relationship is going to solve all your problems. You're going to think if you're going through like some mental battles right now, right? Or you going through like some scarcity mentality or some shit like that, right? Then what's going to happen is you're going to think that you're going to think to yourself that when you finally get the partner it is that you want, or when you finally get the dating partner or the sexual partner it is that you always want, right? You're going to be thinking to yourself that all of that shit is going to solve your damn problems out in this bitch, when in reality, you still going to have that shit. And it's not even just going to be with that. Let's say if it did solve that problem, at the end of the day, it's going to be another one. Just like when I said, you know, you might be dating a 10. If you're a man, you probably dating the 10 out of 10 female. If you're a female, you probably dating the 10 out of 10 man. Here you go. You dating the most attractive people in the damn world. What's gonna happen is, you know, yeah, you might feel validated for that first day or some shit like that, right? As y'all keep on going through some shit, then what's gonna happen is you're gonna start to feel you're gonna motherfucking it's gonna be a high probability that your ass gonna start to feel insecure, because you're gonna think, damn, this person can do way better than me. What are you with me for? Here you go, your insecurity is gonna start to kick in and shit. I'm telling you what it is. I'm telling you, man, and that's basically what the fuck it is I'm talking about in this video. Look, man, once you solve your insecurities out in this bitch, good thing I brought this up. Once you solve your insecurities, my G, that is when I believe you will be ready to date. And the reason as to why I'm saying that is simply because I'm telling you, man, this is what people do. We be thinking, right? We be thinking that, you know, we be thinking that if we have like a significant other or some shit like that, right? We're going to think that that's going to make us feel complete. And why do we think that? Because we're trying to get rid of that damn insecurity. And what insecurity is that I might be talking about? I don't know. Could be a whole lot of insecurity. Since we talking about dating out in this bitch, you probably got a dating insecurity. You know what I'm saying? And since you got that dating insecurity, you're going to think, oh, if I finally get the person it is that I always wanted to date or mate with, then, you know, I'm going to feel secure. When in reality, you still going to feel insecure out in that bitch. And you might feel insecure even more. And good thing I brought that up as well. All right. So let's say you was on a date or some shit like that, right? Let's say you was on a date and, you know, let's say that was like the first date or something like that, right? And basically, you know, you're going to, you know, basically what I'm saying is, look, man, you are insecure and you're trying to gain validation. Look, man, those are the two things that's happening in dating out in this bitch. Insecurities and you trying to seek validation. I'm telling you what it is. So let's say you was on a date or some shit like that, right? Here you go. You was on a date and shit like that. And, you know, it's like the first date. And basically, let's say that was a successful first date. Let's say everything just popped up on the first date. You know what I'm saying? So here you go. Let's say you're trying to set up a second date. Now you back to being insecure again because you don't know if that motherfucker is going to be with you on the second date now. I'm telling you what it is. And let's say the second date did work. Let's say the second date was a success as well. Now the third date, now you're still insecure. Point I'm trying to get across is, look, man, you got to break out that insecure ass shit. Look, man, because don't expect the other individual to make your ass stop being insecure. I'm telling you what it is. Like, you got to break that shit from within yourself first. I'm telling you the game. So I think I got my point across in this motherfucking video, man. I think I got my point across in this video because, like I said before, I used to be one of those individuals, man. I used to be one of those individuals like, if I be around all the women, you know, or if I have me a girlfriend, or if I, you know, what's some other shit. If I finally bang the woman it is that I always wanted and shit like that, then I'm gonna feel a sense of self-worth. I'm gonna feel a sense of, I'm gonna erase my problems in dating or whatever the fuck. I'm gonna start to feel confident. When in reality, motherfucker, I'm gonna have another problem out in this bitch. You know, when I finally bang the chick it is that I always wanted and shit like that, right? Now, in my mind, I'm gonna be thinking, oh, damn, she only liked me because of this. I'm telling you what it is out in this bitch. Or, you know, what's some other shit? You know, if I get into a relationship or some shit like that, right? Here I go, you know, what's some shit motherfucker, I can't see myself being in a relationship with one individual. I'm a dog. I'm telling you what it is. I can't see myself being in a relationship with one individual. But let's just use you for example. Here you go. You finally, like I said, you might be in a relationship with the person it is that you always dreamed of being with. Here you go. Now, since you insecure and shit like that, right? You're always going to be questioning the individual. Like, why are you with me? You can do way better than me. Are you cheating? You're going to keep on questioning. You will never be grateful for that shit. I'm telling you what it is. I'm telling you what the fuck be going on in this bitch. Look, man, I'm telling you what's going on. You're going through something called, it's your insecurities and you seeking validation from the other individual. Until you erase your insecurity in dating, my G, then your problems will not get solved. It's not even just with dating. Until you just erase insecurity, period, out in this bitch, then you will always motherfucking have. I'm telling you what it is. I'm telling you the game out in this bitch. We always be thinking that when we finally get what it is that we wanted some shit, we're going to think it's not even just with dating. It could also be with like anything else. Like, let's say if you made all your dreams a reality out in this bitch. Here you go. All your dreams came true. So in your mind, you're going to be thinking like, since all my dreams came true, I should be the happiest person alive. Motherfucker, there's a whole lot of individuals that is rich out in this bitch, right? These motherfuckers is rich. These motherfuckers rich. And they got everything it is that they always dreamed of. These motherfuckers still depressed, bruh. That's why they always say materialistic success don't bring you happiness out in this bitch. It's very important to have it. Don't get me wrong. It's very important, especially when it comes to this video. It's very important to still have all of this shit. But in order for you to enjoy it on some shit, motherfucker, you got to complete yourself first. I'm telling you what it is. Because once you complete yourself first in some shit, then what's going to happen is you're not going to look for another individual, or you're not going to look for external circumstances or external sources to give you that happiness. Motherfucker, your happiness comes from within yourself. I'm telling you what it is. You thinking fucking all the women in the world is gonna bring your ass happiness and some shit like that, when in reality it ain't. Dan Bilzerian got all the hoes in the world. He even stated it himself. I'm telling you what it is. It might even cause you more problems out in this bitch. Here you go. You be thinking, when I finally get in a relationship, I'm gonna be the happiest person alive. All my problems gonna be solved. Motherfucker, that shit ain't gonna do a damn thing. You're gonna start to have other issues. Now you're gonna think, is that person better than you? You're gonna start to think, is that person cheating on you? I'm telling you what it is. But other than that though, man, I feel like I got my point across, man. So basically, I guess the moral of this motherfucking video is we are overrating dating and we are overrating mating. Y'all putting sex on a pedestal, when you find that's why they always say here, good thing I brought that. I'm gonna get this video up to 20 minutes, but good thing I brought that up. Here you go. Since you're going through a dry spell sexually, right? You're going through a dry spell sexually. So what's happening is you probably watching a whole lot of digital lust. I'm telling you what it is. So you watching a whole lot of that shit, or you got to use it. You got to use the artificial route, right? So what's going to happen is, here you go. When you do that shit, you're putting that shit on a pedestal. So now you're going to keep on craving that shit. Oh, I want to reenact it in real life. I want to get it in real life. So let's say you finally get it in real life, right? So you finally get that shit in real life. And now all of a sudden, that shit ain't how you was picturing it, that shit to go. And then on top of that, the person might got a disease or some shit. Then on top of that, I think I just said it, but like STD, like a sexual transmitted demons. I'm telling you, man, we don't think about this shit. Here you go. If that person got a low vibration or some shit like that, right, they're going to transfer their energy onto you. So like I just said, if that person got a low vibration, if that person fucked up mentally, right, let's say that person fighting insecurities, let's say that person motherfucking just got all types of problems in their damn life. When you start fucking them, motherfucking, then what's gonna happen is they're gonna transfer all their shit onto you. Now, congratulations, you got a piece of them. And then on top of that, that shit might stay with your ass. But yet we keep on going, we keep on putting this shit on a pedestal out in this bitch. And that's all I'm trying to get across in this motherfucking video. Real talk. You thinking when you finally have sex, you start the date out in this bitch, you thinking that shit is gonna erase all your problems. You think it's gonna give you all the confidence, motherfucker. You think that shit is gonna make you feel like the chosen one. When in reality, that shit ain't gonna make you feel like a damn thing. I'm telling you, man, it might make you feel worse than before out in this bitch. I'm telling you what it is. But other than that, though, I might make another video about this in the future or some shit. I don't know, but I feel like I got my point across, man. So yeah, I'm gonna get this video up in 20 minutes. So, anyways, though, man, yeah. So if you like this video out of here, bit, stay tuned for some more videos. And we out. Peace up.